So everyone is here that's going to be here, I think. And I want to say welcome and thank you to everyone being here, the participants, and all of you that have got 30 years in. I'm sure you're saying, where did the time go? Time does go by quick. So as I call the people up here, I'm going to ask the department heads or the other elected people to come up so they can be with their employee. I just happen to kind of be in charge coming out of our department. I think we actually funded out of our department, so they put me in charge of this. But I want to say thank you to all of our employees. You do make a difference in the everyday running of Williamson County government, no matter what role you play. There are many people here with more years in than I've got that could tell you that. So on behalf of all of our county and county employees, thank you for what you mean and for how you conduct yourself and for reaching this milestone. Doesn't mean you're retiring, just means you're just in 30 years. So who do we want to start with first here? And thanks to all the ladies that put all this together. I mean, my goodness, the cake and the punch is worth the show today. Who do you want to start with? Darlene, would you come up and...
Have I got to come up here?
Come on up, Miss Anderson.
I'll be glad to come up here.
So if you've ever gone down and got your car tags, you're going to see Darlene. Miss Anderson, you want to say a few words?
I do want to say, first, thank everybody coming out. And I got one girl here. I'm a little bit hoarse today. Got one girl here. She beats me a lot of times in the morning. And I try to get here before she does, but most of the time she'll beat me. If I had 25 just like her, I'd have a great staff, even though I got a good staff. Darlene, thanks for putting up with me for 30 years.
Well, thank you, Miss Anderson.
And we look forward to another 30.
Yes.
Have you got family here?
I can't, my daughter. My husband's sick.
Well, join the crowd. The rest of us got these allergies and that. Come on up here. Let's get her up here. You got to introduce her.
Okay.
All the family today. You don't have to come up, but maybe you want to. She's young enough. She can come up.
This is my youngest. Her name's Alex. I get the pleasure of working with her in our office. So.
That's a good thing.
Maybe. Okay, and I also a little bit of story behind Alex here. When she lost her real grandmother by death, she and her sister came to me and said, now will you be my grandmother? So I've been grandmother ever since. Well, what an honor it has been.
That's a good story. Darlene, thank you. You don't think it's on after all that? We're going to do it again?
It's on.
I just work at the pleasure of you ladies. Gwen? Come on up here. All right, Eddie, you get the wonderful honor of talking about her, I hope in a good way.
Absolutely. Always Gwen. First of all, congratulations to each of you who've been around, stuck around for 30 years, as Gwen has. I tell everyone when I go out, I have the best. I have 35 of the best employees anyone could want, and Gwen is among the 35. I have another employee who will be up here shortly as well. But anyway, Gwen, thanks a million. She's wonderful. She hugs everyone in the office before she begins work at 8 o'clock every morning. And there's 35 hugs, and everyone appreciates it.
Any family here today?
Well, he's coming, but he's a little slow. So my husband, but he's on his way.
Well, thank you on behalf of the county as a certificate of appreciation and a little gift, and thank you very much for all the service you've provided.
Thank you.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Ellen? It's your turn. Wow. Ellen, even if I did like you better than Gwen, I couldn't say it right here because Gwen's sitting here.
You like
No.
to go just the same, right?
Exactly, absolutely. As I said, I have the best, and Ellen being one of them, and I appreciate every minute of it. For the 30 years they both have served the county, and I hope will stick around for a whole lot longer.
Yes. a whole lot longer.
So who hired you ladies 30 years ago? Joe?
Joe hired, and then I hired Ellen.
Judge Jane Franks and Ann hired me 30 years ago.
Right,
Ann
exactly.
Beard.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
You got to get that leadage in there. don't you?
yeah, a long time ago.
Except for Miss Anderson, she came with the county.
She did.
Well, I think Miss Barrett did as well, but,
Yeah. Anyway, it's
Well,
been
thank
good.
fortunate.
Thank you very much, Ellen, for all your years of service. Appreciation gift and a certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank
for everything.
you, thank you so much.
Roger, thank you.
Mr. Art. Come on, Eddie. How are you today?
I just want to thank Art for what he has done these past 30 years, as well as the rest of you also. 30 years is a long time to work in one place, but Art does a great job, and he answers the phone dispatching up here at the office, and just want to thank you, and don't plan on going nowhere no time soon. I appreciate working with you. Thank you again.
The bookie. Y'all laugh as you die in.
My wife and mother-in-law's here, and of course my brother, he kind of came with the building, y'all know him, but they expressly told me that they didn't want to come up here, so, but I'm very blessed. I work with a lot of good people, and that makes it easy.
So Charles hired you.
Charles Meeting,
Get
a
all that
long, long
off.
time ago.
Thank you.
30 years ago.
All right.
Ladies, before the Jennifer York, Parks and Rec, come on up here.
Well, thank you, boss. It's a real pleasure to be here today to introduce Jennifer York. If y'all don't know her, it's your fault that you're not coming into the rec centers, because that's where you'll see her every day. Just a second ago, Doug Hood slipped in. My predecessor is the department head for Parks and Recreation, and when he came to Williamson County, Jennifer was already here. She had a side ponytail, and she was teaching aerobic classes. It looked like Olivia Newton-John. So when Doug inherited such a fine staff, he probably didn't realize that 30 years later she would be the deputy director and such a solid contributor to the quality of life for the residents of Williamson County. And it's been a pleasure, Jennifer, to work alongside you all these years. And I owe a lot to you, and you mean a lot to me.
I'm the emotional one of the group. My husband Scott is here and my son Tucker's here. So thank y'all for being here. Sorry.
So I could tell stories on a couple of them, this one and the next one coming up. I won't get into it, but many of you may have known me in a previous life where I umpired and refereed ball games, and Jennifer and Jim, the next guy coming up, were there, and believe it or not, all of us had dark hair back in those days. That's all I'll say. I won't embarrass anybody. Thank you, Jennifer. Come on up, Jim.
Once again, when I got to, start working for Williamson County Parks in 1994, Jim was another one that had preceded me. And when I got here, I'd never worked with a computer before. And Williamson County was light years ahead of where I came from, which was Metro Parks in Nashville.
And we are still.
Like that setup, didn't you? Jim had a lot of patience, brought me in, and you know, we've over the years shared a lot, and he is like a brother, and he's got a wonderful family. He'll introduce his wife here in just a second, but you know, Jim is another one that, once again, when you think about the chance to serve the people of Williamson County, you have to have a heart for it, and you have to have patience and a lot of things. And Jim's got all of those and then some. So, Jim, you know, thank you for all your service, and we want you to continue to do more. We got an ISC where he's the facility manager, undergoing a major renovation, and you got to get us off to another good start out there. So, here, I'll let you, I'll hold that for you.
My wife Lynn is with me.
Jim also has 2 daughters. They aren't here today because they are in another part of the world. One of them is in Saipan, and the other one is in Thailand. And they are educators and on missionary work. And so I know Jim's proud of his daughters, just like we all would be. And so, Jim, you know, thanks for everything you do.
I remember, now correct me if I'm right or wrong on this, were you all dating at the time that I first know?
We were newlyweds.
When did y'all get married? No, I'll ask her and I'll put you on the spot.
6'7", is that right?
Little help gets you through that, doesn't it, Jim? So I became a county commissioner in '86, and I was thinking you all were just getting started in your journey. Last but not least on our 30-year awards is Bill Jorgensen, and I get this honor because Bill is one of our department heads. Let you introduce some of your family members here.
Can I have them come up?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, no, come on. So my youngest daughter, Lauren, my oldest daughter, Lita, and my wife, Lee, the 3 L's. My son couldn't be here tonight, Casey, or this evening, this afternoon, I don't even know what.
So I could say something about each of these employees, even when they're with other elected officials, departments, or appointed, like Eddie's. Bill works in an area that has transformed the emergency management. We changed the title a few years ago to Public Safety Director with the aid of the Sheriff's Department and a lot of other departments so that there wouldn't be conflict. And like so many things in Williamson County, Bill took it and ran with it. And it created a department. At budget time, it's a monster now. But it's a department I'm very proud of. You should feel a lot safer at night knowing that the men and women down at the Public Safety Center are protecting us as individuals. This week alone, there's an organization in the Middle Tennessee area, and I forget the exact name of them, but they're the city managers from all over the world are in Nashville. And there were some 5,000 of them in the Middle Tennessee area staying and eating in our restaurants. And they all made a trip, not all of them, but several of them made a trip down this week. And they were just absolutely blown away by the organization and what is occurring here. And so, Bill, thank you very much for that, for allowing us to have a more comfortable way of life. That should be part of government's role as law enforcement and public safety, and you have done an outstanding job. And thanks for letting us share your dad and your husband with us, because I know he's away a lot in the evenings and at nights because he calls me. Thank you.
We're calling right now. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do want to say a few things. I appreciate your leadership and the department heads, and especially the folks that work in the finance department. I appreciate you all putting up with me. And as we move programs forward, and I'm looking forward to the next 30 years of moving public safety forward in Williamson County.
Thank you, Bill. That's all we've got. So what do you want us to do next? Cake and punch time. So again, thank you. It's a little token to all of you that have cleared the hurdle of 30 years. Some of you I know have already been here It's the least we can do for your service. It's the least we can do for what you mean to us in this county, and thank you every day that you work for us. It's a better place because of you. And so now it's time to have some punch and cake. And would you be first?
I'll cut it.
All right.